A few weeks ago I was here at the Beinn Ghlas range and it was slightly different weather conditions than what it is today. So we're back, we're ready to tick the 5 off that I didn't do. Beinn Ghlas, Beinn Ghlas and Stùc, Meall Garbh and Meall Greigh. It's time for redemption. So now I was here and did Meall Corranaich, Leith and Meall Corranaich, I think you pronounce it. Part up that side, and then the 2 Munros are around here. And then I came back down this path, which I'm going up today. So I've done this path, but now we're doing it in reverse route. It's meant to be a really cracking day today. It's meant to just continue to get clearer, brighter and warmer as well. And I knew that obviously 5 Munros today had to be a good day for it. So I'm looking forward to it, I really am. Only thing about today, and I knew this was going to be the case, it's really busy. The car park is pretty much nearly full already, and we're at 8:30. There was a group of 20-ish or so, 20-25 people at least, who were going out as one big group, and they're up ahead actually. So it's not going to be quiet. It's not going to be quiet on the summit. I know it, particularly the first 2, Beinn Ghlas and Beinn Ghlas, but I'm hoping as I go out to Stuc and the other 2, it'll be a little bit quieter out there. Maybe we'll get some good footage. So I knew that was going to be the case for today's hike, but it's not going to be peace and solitude, certainly for the first bit. And the final bit as well is going to be a bit of a pain in the hoop, because I've got a road walk all the way back to the car from the village of Ghlas back to the car park. So that's going to be a bit of an eyesore, to be honest. But anyway, it's going to be an amazing day, and we're just going to enjoy it as much as we can. Well, so far so quiet. This is a nice pleasant surprise. I was fully expecting it to be as busy as, well, not as busy as Beinn Nevis, but kind of Beinn Nevis-esque, with people just in front of you, behind you, coming from all different angles. But this is quite peaceful just now, but I know a lot of people will be further up, heading up towards Beinn Ghlas and Beinn Ghlas just now. But it feels good to be back. It feels good to hopefully today get to accomplish the mission that I set out a couple of weeks ago that I couldn't get just because it was the wrong type of conditions and weather for it. So to know that a few weeks ago I set out to do something that today is going to be completed, hopefully, I'm going to feel really good about it. I really will. Our route comes up the face of Beinn Ghlas, and then that's the summit just up there. Beinn Ghlas is right in behind it. The way I came from last time I was here, I came from up here, the Bealach, and then skirted down here, which I did consider going up that way because it'll be a bit quieter, but oh nah, I'll experience a new path and come up the shoulder and the face. It'll be a little bit shorter to get up to Beinn Ghlas. Just about 1.5 kilometres away from Beinn Ghlas now. The summit is up, I think maybe beyond those peaks there. Lovely views down towards Loch Tay, Killins down here as well, Meall Corranaich, cracking ridge walk. Meall Greigh is sticking up here. You can actually, I know the camera won't be able to pick out, but across in here you can actually see into the bridge of Orchid Munros. So yeah, we're moving quite well today. I managed to get away from the crowd. Admittedly, I just kind of got the head down there, just wanted to get away from the traffic. It was busy. But yeah, not too long till we're at the summit of Beinn Ghlas. This is so much better than what it was like when I was here not overly long ago. Nearly there. Meall Corranaich summit here. Meall Corranaich Leith summit out here. I did come down here and went down there, but instead was intending on coming up this way, up to nearly where I am now. But it's good to see those mountains now free of cloud with views. I sure as hell didn't have that last time. Munro number 1 of 5 today, and 95 in total for me. Beinn Ghlas. Tiny little cairn. Halfway blowy up here, and there. Number 2, Beinn Ghlas, and then the rest of the ridge just behind it looks stunning. The magnificent Loch Tay all the way down here. You can see Beinn Ghlas and Stuc over that direction. I'm sure Beinn Ghlas around here somewhere as well. Beinn Ghlas are in the cloud over there. Very nice, really nice summit. First Munro done in an hour and 15 minutes, which is good, so that was pretty quick ascent. There's the cairn just there over my shoulder, and we're just continuing down this ridge, up the shoulder of Beinn Ghlas. It looks like a beautiful ridge walk, it really does. And there's another path just kind of coming down there as well, so if you only want to do Beinn Ghlas and miss out Beinn Ghlas, you can do, which is really helpful. But yes, we're just going to keep going. Going to keep going up to Beinn Ghlas. It doesn't actually look that bad in ascent, it really doesn't. It looks really gradual, really well defined up to the top there. Such is the popularity with these Munros, it's going to have really good paths. Looks like that's going to be a gorgeous ascent up to the 10th highest mountain in the UK. It's actually a lot quieter than what I thought it would have been. Oh yes, let's march on. Well, that took no time to get here at all. Well, that's Beinn Ghlas done, Munro number 2, which is just over my shoulder there, sitting at 1,214 metres, I think. So I'm not going to stop for very long. I'm actually just going to have a little bite to eat because I'm actually feeling really good today. But look at this. What a view. Our path takes us down there and then all the way over this ridge. Munro number 3, Meall Garbh, and Stuc, Meall Garbh. I think that's Meall Greigh out there. There's a beautiful loch down here. I can't remember the name of the loch. But it's great just seeing all this, to know that I'm away to do it all. It looks fantastic. You can see into the Glen Lion Horseshoe. I think that's just behind in there. The rest of the ridge just looks phenomenal. There's a nice scramble down here on Stuc as well. That'll be interesting to come down. Loch Tay is massive. You can see Ken More just there as well. The Cairngorms I think will be in here. Bit misty. Fantastic. What a spot. We are now on the way down from Beinn Ghlas. It's a lovely path. Just I think going across this whole traverse, and Stuc is right here where my right pole is. Meall Garbh is just shortly behind it, and that is Meall Greigh out to the other side there as well. So yeah, I'm so glad I've come back here on a clear day. The views have opened up so much more clearly over here now as well. Fantastic, it really, really is. What a beautiful place this is. That's us down at the Bailach now between Beinn Ghlas and Stuc. Got a few sheep watching me, wondering what I'm doing. This looks like quite a steep incline up to Stuc, and that was quite a gnarly, substantial descent coming all the way from Beinn Ghlas, just because it's such a high Munro. So yeah, we're down here. It's upwards from here up to Stuc, which I think is 1,118 metres. Third highest summit of today. So we're gonna crack on. Munro number 3 of the day, second highest of the entire ridge, and not the third, like I said. The rocky outcrop of Stuc. But yeah, this is probably the best view of today so far. It's clearing up so much more in all directions. Beinn Ghlas here is lovely. Beinn Ghlas just in behind it. Corranaich, Meall Corranaich. I don't think the camera will pick it up, but the Buchel right in the Glen Coes over here. Tindrum, Larich, Bridge of Orkney. Yeah, this has been the best views of today so far. Fantastic, it really is. And I hope I don't live to regret this, but I've taken my fleecy off because it's really starting to warm up and the wind's died down. Maybe it's just the position, maybe it's just getting blocked off, but what I know I won't live to regret is that the poles are packed away, because I know I've got a downward scramble coming down this side of Stuc, and I don't think it's anything too drastic. I believe it's still grade 1, but I also do have to consider the fact as well that so many people come along this side of the ridge up this way, the opposite way that I'm doing it, because it's much easier to scramble up rather than scramble down. So I do need to just make sure I've got my blinkers on. I know it's very rocky, so I need to make sure navigation is good. Looking for a better word. So, but yeah, this is going to be interesting. It's just going to make sure that we're safe, we're steady underfoot, and you can see the summit of Meall Garbh now, which is just in here. Another rocky looking outcrop. It's either that or it's that, I can't remember, but you know where we're heading because it's such a clear day now. What a beautiful, beautiful day, honestly. The views have really opened up. Temperatures are really quite pleasant now. So yes, we're gonna see, you can see that it's getting quite steep here now. So we're gonna just make sure that we're all good. Okay, so yeah, I think that's it. It doesn't last very long, but I think it's quite hard to tell because it's always harder coming down the scramble than what it is. So I think that's it, but like going up that wouldn't be a problem. It's a clear like stepping route that you can take up there, but it is quite steep. You do have to be careful coming down it, but there's plenty of rocks that kind of stick out up here, so you can just plant your foot right on it when you're coming down. But I think that's it. It looks like it's path from here. There'll probably be a little bit more rocks maybe just down below me here, but you can see the route ahead. It looks fantastic. How many times have I said that today? And we've reached the bottom again. Yay! The scramble up to Stuc looks so much more imposing than what it actually is. And I came down it and it was very manageable. You just had to take a lot of care. And as long as you're strong, then you're always going to be a bit more secure. Probably I liken it to something like the Archer Alps, so going up Beinn Ghlas or the more direct route up to Beinn Ghlas. Probably similar to that, and that's considering that felt a little bit trickier because I came down it. Numero 4 of the day, and number 98 in total. Meall Garbh. Really, really good. Fantastic. Nice easy ascent that one was. Probably the easiest of the day. Nice to have a little bit of, there's a little bit of hand-on rock there, but no scrambling as such really. It's a lovely view of Stuc, the rocky outcrop that it is. Beautiful, really beautiful. Alrighty, so we're on the go again and we're heading towards Meall Greigh, which is the final Munro of today. Admittedly, that wasn't the most scenic of spots. I just parked myself up there. There's a big flat grassy slope here, but I wanted to have the big man Beinn Ghlas in my frame of sight, and a little bit of Lochte as well was bonny. But yes, we're roughly about 3.5 or 4 kilometres away from this final one, so this one's not going to be as quick to reach, but then from that point there it's all the way back to the car. You get a better view of the route now, so we go down this path and it just skirts all the way along this ridge up to the final summit, which, yeah, just there. So it's a fair bit of a hike to get out there. And I believe as well, what I'm going to do, because I've done a little bit of research on the maps, my plan originally was to go to the summit, come down and then road walk for 6 miles. I am really not keen on that. I'll need to keep an eye out for traffic. There's hardly even any ledge to jump on to get off the road. I was kind of assessing as I was driving down, I just don't like it. So what I think I'm going to do, because it is a grassy slope down here, and I believe there's a path which skirts down like the kind of that side, which is a little bit more of a direct way of getting back to the car park. It's going to be wet underfoot and it's going to be shorter, but I'm actually willing to do that because the road walk is just going to be brutal. And it's not only for keeping an eye out for traffic, I wouldn't be able to listen to music or anything for all that time for that reason, and I just don't fancy it. It's probably one of the most boring parts of any hike is a road walk. So although my feet are going to get quite interestingly wet, because you can see it's so wet down there, I don't know where, I think the path might be just kind of behind all of that bog, fingers crossed. But either way, we're heading up there and hopefully not too long in reaching it. It really is just grassy slopes in this location as well. It makes for fantastic hill walking conditions once you're up on this ridge. Nice and easy navigation. These fence posts can certainly help out with it as well. And you get fantastic views down into Glen Lyon as well. More of the Glen Lyon Munros are up here, but you've got the horseshoe which is right around over here, and you can see Schiehallion just over the top of it. So we get really beautiful views today, really good walking conditions. This is what it's all about. It really is. It's been absolutely fantastic and I've been so lucky with the weather once again. Not too sure if the camera's going to be able to pick this out, but round about in here you see the mighty Beinn Ghlas. That looks amazing. And the moors are just sitting in front of it. Of course over here you can see Biddy and Nambian and Glencoe. What a view point. You can see so much from here. And I think up across in here we have up towards Dalwhinnie, Dromoctor, Munros, and at the Cairngorms. It's just magical. There it is, the fifth and final one of today. Staggeringly more so, number 99 in total. Meall Greigh, or it's probably pronounced Greigh or something stupid like that. Wow. Look at that view over Loch Tay. absolutely staggering. It really is. I can hear in my voice that I don't sound it, but believe me, I really, it's just, sometimes words just fail you and you just have to stand. This is just unbelievable. It's just lowlands, so green and vast. It really is special. This is one of the best views of the day. You can look back over everything. It is just staggering, it really is. You're just right in the epicenter of mountains and hills and sharp peaks, intimidating cliff faces. It just doesn't feel right. This this is just... So the best part now is that we've obviously come from all the way over this ridge to this very point here. Now we've got to get back. Yay! We're not anywhere near done yet. Nowhere near it. The original plan today was to go down this path, and then that would take me all the way down by the shores of Loch Tay, and I would road walk, but I'm not doing that. And so what I'm going to do instead is there's a path that runs, it skirts around the outside of Beinn Ghlas and all the other Munros. It's just going to be a little bit more interesting than the road walk, and a lot safer as well, and it looks like a good path as well, and I believe it comes to an end as you get close to the Beinn Ghlas car park, but it looks really well ridden. So what I'm going to do is I'm either going to retrace my steps to the Beinn Ghlas and then come down, or I might be able just to cut across some of the grass, albeit amongst sheep. But you can see just down here there's a little path section. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to retrace my steps. I think I might be able just to cut off a little bit, just because it's all grassy slopes. Just depends on how wet it looks and how manageable it is. But 5 done today, 99 in total in the bag, which feels incredible. I've got one more to get to triple digits. I've got about 3 in the shortlist that I want to do for it. So yeah, going to be some journey. So that's us actually nearly back to rejoin the main path now. I've just got a little water crossing to get over here. Totally worth. It's just cutting off a little bit earlier. The summit's up there, I think that's it, and not that one. And I think I carried on for about maybe 5 minutes along the main path, and I just cut off down here. And then I followed, there's a little stream which goes down, and I just followed that. And there's actually really plenty really faint paths, kind of just like ones like these, and there's lots of them going up there, so it's been well trodden over, and there's plenty of opportunities for water crossings down here as well, so you're not going to be in trouble having to get over the river here at all. So totally worth it, absolutely worth it, because I think that's shaved off me about half an hour, because I would have had to go all the way down and then right around here. So totally worth just cutting off there, but obviously it's not a recognised route, so you do it at your own risk basically, but it's totally manageable. It's quite hard to determine how much distance I've got left because I've not plotted this route on the map before I left, but I reckon it's maybe about 9 kilometres or so. The path is literally just up here and it swings all the way back round towards the car park. It says on the on all trails it says that it cuts off at some point, maybe just like 2 kilometres before you reach the car park, it just stops. So I don't know what that's all about, we'll need to check it. There's a few people on this path, so I assume it's totally fine, but maybe there's just a few fences to get over, or maybe it's just like this again, maybe really faint. But I'm glad I've made this decision. It's going to be much safer, much more scenic, and I'm going to be able to have lovely views still, Beinn Ghlas and the rest of the Munros. But here's the main path here, really good. Yeah, that was a nice little bit of improvisation from me, Ben. I'm chuffed with that. The one thing I'll say about this walk back is that there's been tons of sheep. Sheep have just been all along this path here, and it doesn't look as if it's going to be getting any different at all. But we can start to Beinn Ghlas is back in vision now. Beinn Vorlich and Stuc Corranaich. Beinn Honzi is just popping up here. Well, it's the biggest summit that's around about here anyway. It's quite hard to tell, but yeah, really lovely. It's really scenic, it's peaceful, apart from all the sheep of course, but yes, it's good underfoot, good path. What a lovely location it really is. Oh man, this is a bit of a cheap shot, isn't it? We've got to cross the burn, come up this face, or I can't quite see the path, it looks like the path maybe over there, and then we skirt along, so we've got to go down and then come back up again. Ah! It's actually alright, I don't mind that, because it was getting so boring on the flat, so to come down, to go back up, harder work, but yes, it's one of those things. That's nice of the route to take us over this way. Ah, interesting. Looks like we've just got a bit of a fence line to follow here. I see there's like a faint path over on that side, but the route is showing it on this side. See, there's a little bit of a grassy path over there, and there's fences there, so it might be closed off on this side. I'll go up and take a look. So there's no clear path anywhere. There is still that slight grassy bit down there, but that's way away from the marked path on the map. Marked path on the map basically takes me up this way. So I think I'm going to hop over this, and I'm going to just shoot on up there and just see what happens. If it gets too ropey, I cut back up here. The path back up to Beinn Ghlas is just up there, so if in doubt I go back up there, connect to the main path and go back down to the car, but we'll see what goes on here. So I've plotted my intended route. The path on the map is taking me right down to this fence post, and there's no need because I've just got to go back up and then go back down. So I'm going to stay a little bit high. I can see there are some steep drops just in there, but there's some bits just on the outside of it, and I'm just going to go straight forward because that is the path to Beinn Ghlas right there. So I know if I just keep going on that direction, I'll end up back on the main path again, but there's just going to be a slight dip and coming back up again. It's been an adventure, hasn't it, this final bit, but it's been much more mentally engaging than that flat walking anyway on the path, that's for sure. Don't know what I'd rather. I can see the stile just up in this direction where you can take just off the main path. So that's the main path basically just there. This is what I'm dealing with. I just got a bit of fencing to meander through, so you can kind of see it. It's just faint grassy paths everywhere. There's a lot down here and there's some up here. Yeah, I think it's just a case of, for me, I was just picked a point and I picked this point here and aimed for it and then see where it takes me. And it's taking me back here, which is great. Wasn't the easiest fence to get over there, it's quite tight. Should have just went up to the stile just up there, but anyway, we're nearly back on the main path now. There we go, we're back on the normal path again. That feels nice. Also, as adventurous as that is, you wouldn't want to do that all the time because, well, clearly not, because this is better. But there are a few times where, like, the grass is so soft, your feet like sink in, you kind of just come down, and it can be a real ankle breaker at times. There's a couple of times where I kind of sunk down without actually knowing that I was going to do it, so you need to take real care and go really slowly when you're doing that. I'm not going to film the rest of this walk here. I've already filmed this part, albeit on a bit more of a rainy day, when I did Meall Greigh, Leith and Meall Corranaich, and I came back down this way, and I came up here this morning. Here's a nice shot of Beinn Ghlas again. What a location this has been. But as for the Beinn Ghlas Ridge itself, everything all the way from here all the way along, it's a little bit of a hiker's paradise because there's something for everyone. You've got the very beginner friendly Beinn Ghlas car park, where obviously where we've parked here, and then you've even got the higher car park, which is up this way just to past Ghlas Dam. Like, it's very beginner friendly because you start so high, so there isn't a significant ascent to actually get to the summits, despite them being humongous Munros. So, and the pathing as well, which is good, and that goes for the entire ridge. The pathing system is excellent when you're on the main ridge, and you've got a little bit of scrambling as well, which you can avoid as well, that you don't need to do. And Stuc, I think you can work your way around it potentially. I'm not 100% sure on that, don't quote me on that, but there's a bit of scrambling for those who want it. A lot of nice flat level hill walking, like grassy hill walking at the east side of the ridge as well. Fantastic views, quite some of the views as well, and some of the summits are actually quite prominent with their peaks as well, offering a nice bit of exposure. You don't have to. Yeah, there's something for everyone, and it makes it really beginner friendly, I have to say, if you want to try all these different things. And it's just been a really amazing day. Remarkable to have now done all 7 of Beinn Ghlas Munros, Meall Intermarchan done as well now, which is great. And even more mind-boggling, the fact I'm now sitting on 99 Munros, which is a little bit mental, and I've got 3 kind of shortlisted that I want to do hopefully in the coming weeks. So yeah, I've got single Munro days lined up where I just do 1 Munro that does the 100, and then I would love to get that done before India. We'll just need to wait and see though how time goes, how I get on with vaccinations, if I'm feeling a little bit under the weather as well. So yeah, we'll be looking forward to that. It's just a little bit crazy to now know that I've done 99 Munros so quickly as well in 2 years. It's wild. Just another really memorable day. It's another one to add to the diary. I'm so happy about that. It's a shame that they're not so easily, they're easy to link when you're up there, but getting back to this point isn't the easiest, just because you've got to traverse either the long road walk, or you've got to do 2 cars, or you've got to go across the grassy slopes like what I did there. That's the only downside to it, but it's best done if you've got like a taxi booked, or if you are doing it as a team and got one car either side, or even a bike as well. That would be the way to do it. Beinn Ghlas, the Ridge. It's been a pleasure. Maybe we'll see you sometime again with Nevis.